The footage is raw. It is grainy. It is undeniable. We see the world through the cold, green-tinged lens of a military targeting system. A shape hangs in the sky. It is not a plane. It is not a drone we recognize. It is something else entirely. It moves with a purpose that defies our understanding of physics. The crosshairs lock on. A sense of dread fills the silent airwaves of the recording. The decision has been made. A trigger is pulled. A streak of light pierces the darkness. The missile screams toward its target. The object in the sky does not react. It does not flee. The moment of impact is a flash of brilliant white light, a silent explosion that consumes the screen. Debris, or what looks like debris, scatters. But something is wrong. The light from the explosion seems to bend. It warps around the point of contact. The object shudders, but it does not disintegrate. It holds its form against the full might of our modern weaponry. It takes the hit. Then, in a blink, it accelerates. It shoots off at an impossible speed. It leaves the frame in less than a second. Gone. The targeting system tries to follow, but it is useless. The sky is empty once more. We fired first. This footage is a weapon. It is a weapon against ignorance. It is a weapon against the carefully constructed narrative we have been fed for decades. The United States military engaged an object of unknown origin. An object that demonstrated capabilities far beyond our own. They fired on it. This was not a weather balloon. This was not swamp gas. This was a direct kinetic engagement with a non-human intelligence. Or at the very least, a non-human technology. The implications are staggering. This event forces a conversation that many have tried to suppress. The truth is here. It is messy. And it is honestly terrifying. The video did not leak. It detonated. It exploded across the internet. Within hours, it was everywhere. Social media became a battlefield of opinions. News channels broke from programming. The grainy green footage looped non-stop. It played on TV screens in cafes, airports, living rooms. The world stopped to watch. The collective gasp was audible. Everyone became an expert. Everyone had a theory. The video was a digital Rorschach test. What people saw reflected hopes and fears about our place in the universe. There was shock. There was awe. There was fear. For many, this was the final piece of the puzzle, the confirmation they'd waited for their entire lives. The "I told you so" moment for a ridiculed community. For others, it confirmed our vulnerability. The idea that we are not alone became tactical reality. We watched our military engage and seemingly fail to destroy an unknown entity. Are they real? What do they want? Why did we shoot at them? The media frenzy was unprecedented. Pundits and analysts worked around the clock. Aerospace engineers dissected missile trajectory. Physicists explained the object's impossible acceleration. The footage was slowed, stabilized, and color-corrected. Every pixel was scrutinized. Was it real? Was it a sophisticated hoax? Credible analysts formed a consensus. It was authentic. This was not a fake. This was a nightmare on camera. The event fractured society's consensus reality. It drew a line in the sand. One side saw ultimate disclosure, proof we are being visited. They demand answers. They demand transparency. The other side, skeptics and deniers. They cling to conventional explanations, a secret military project, a new type of drone. But their arguments are weakening. The evidence is compelling. Official silence is deafening. The world holds its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Speculation about the object's nature has become a global obsession. What did we just witness? The most electrifying theory is, of course, the extraterrestrial one, that the craft was a probe, a drone, a piloted vehicle from another world. Proponents point to the object's transmedium capabilities, its instantaneous acceleration, and its apparent resistance to a direct missile strike. These are the 5 observables in action. However, a vocal contingent argues for a more terrestrial explanation. They posit that the object is not alien, but human. A product of a secret government program so advanced that it appears otherworldly. If this is true, the implications are just as dramatic. It would mean a secret, breakaway civilization with advanced technology has existed alongside us. It would mean that the trillions of dollars funneled into classified budgets have produced miracles. And it would mean that the military fired on its own secret asset, a catastrophic blunder of epic proportions. Then there is the debate over the object's intent. Was it a passive observer, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? Was its presence a benign act of reconnaissance, no different from our own satellites orbiting the Earth? Or was it something more sinister? Was it probing our military defenses? The act of firing a missile has now framed this entire interaction as a hostile one. We defined the rules of engagement. We chose violence. If the occupants of that craft were peaceful, they are not anymore. We have potentially initiated a conflict without understanding a single thing about our adversary. This video forces us to confront the friend or foe question on a cosmic scale. If it is alien, is it a scout for a benevolent federation or the vanguard of an invasion force? If it is human, which humans? And are they working for the public good or for their own shadowy agenda? The object did not fire back. It simply absorbed the blow and left. Was this an act of restraint, a display of superiority, or was it simply collecting data on our weapon systems? We are left to guess, to project our own narratives onto the silent, enigmatic shape. The only thing we know for sure is that our assumptions about the world are no longer valid. In the face of this global firestorm, the official response has been a deafening silence. Governments around the world are deflecting. The Pentagon has issued a terse no comment. They will not confirm the video's authenticity. They will not deny it. This is a deliberate strategy. It is the playbook of plausible deniability. They are waiting, observing the public reaction. They are calculating their next move. This silence is not a sign of ignorance. It is a sign of control. They know more than they are telling us. This leaked video was not part of their carefully managed disclosure plan, and now they are in damage control mode. High-ranking officials, when cornered by journalists, resort to practiced ambiguity. They talk about unidentified aerial phenomena. They mention national security, protecting sources and methods. These are the same phrases we have heard for years, but they sound hollow now. They are empty words in the face of such concrete, explosive evidence. We have moved beyond grainy photos. We have moved beyond pilot testimony. We have footage of a kinetic engagement. The old excuses are no longer sufficient. The public is demanding more than bureaucratic jargon. They are demanding the truth. The pressure is building within the system. Behind the scenes, a different story is unfolding. My sources tell me there is panic. There is chaos. This leak has exposed a deep schism within the intelligence community. There are those who believe this information must be controlled at all costs. They are the gatekeepers who have maintained the cover-up for over 70 years. But there is another faction, a faction that believes the public has a right to know. This leak was likely an intentional act by someone in that latter group, a brave act of defiance. The silence from the top is a strategic decision, but it is a dangerous one. It creates a vacuum. Fear rushes into that vacuum. Misinformation rushes into that vacuum. Wild speculation rushes into that vacuum. Without an official narrative, people are left to invent their own. This breeds distrust. It erodes faith in institutions that are supposed to protect us. By refusing to acknowledge what is plain for all to see, these governments are treating their citizens like children. They are telling us we are not ready for the truth. But the truth is already out. The video is real. The engagement happened. The only question now is, how long can they pretend it did not? This event has pushed humanity to a precipice. We are staring into the abyss of the unknown, and the abyss is staring back. This is more than just a video. It is a catalyst for a global paradigm shift. Our understanding of science, religion, our own identity is now on the table. For decades, "Are we alone?" was philosophical. Now it's practical, and potentially military. This is the beginning of a new era, a post-disclosure world. The immediate next step must be a demand for radical transparency. The era of secrecy is over. It has failed. It produced distrust and left us unprepared. The public must demand governments release everything on UAP. We need full, unredacted sensor data. Hear from the pilots. Hear from the radar operators. We need to see the high-resolution imagery that we know exists. This is not a matter of national security anymore. This is a matter of global security, the security of the entire human species. We cannot face this while being lied to. What does this mean for our future? It could spark a technological renaissance, understand the physics, unlock clean energy, unlock limitless energy. It could lead to faster-than-light travel. It could cure disease. The potential benefits are as limitless as the universe. But there is immense risk. Technology is a double-edged sword. It can be seen as a threat. Our first instinct was to shoot it down. That reveals deep-seated paranoia. We must evolve beyond tribalistic responses. So, what happens now? Do we unify as a species, or do we splinter into fear and nationalism? This video is a test, a mirror held up to humanity. It asks, are you ready? Your answer will define our destiny. The search for truth is more critical than ever. Veils of secrecy are being torn away. Be brave enough to look beyond. The real investigation has just begun.